Welcome to UX India 2025. I am Bhagishri Bhagwatkar and today we have with us Srinivasu Chakravartula, the Director of Accessibility at Freshworks. He has 2 decades of experience in organizations like Yahoo, PayPal, HCL Tech and Informatica. He's a global advocate for accessibility and inclusive product strategies. Hello, hi sir.
Hari Om Bhageshri.
I'm doing good, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Yeah. So at UX India, this time you're talking about build for everyone, right? So which is capturing the sense of accessibility. So I wanted to ask that can you share any experience that how accessible design is transforming not just usability but someone's life experience?
Absolutely. So today we look at our, if you look at our lifestyles, right?
Yeah.
It's a busy life for everybody.
Yes.
So traditionally, earlier, like if you look at around 2 decades or little more before that, if you are a person with a disability, like per se, if you are a person with visual disability, you want to read books, you can grab somebody along and have them read books for you.
Yeah.
But today, while with all good intentions, people want to do and help,
Right.
but it is very hard for them to find time, right?
Yeah.
And if you have to read your scientific books or things like that, it's even harder,
Right. Yeah.
And nobody will have that much time.
Yes.
But today, thanks to the technology, right? If you have something like Audible in your phone, you have access to millions of books, right? Which you can, because all these phones or computers or devices, all of these things, all of these mainstream devices are quite accessible and have the assistive technology inbuilt into it. And most of these applications like Audible or any of the ebook softwares, right, are, a lot of things are pretty much accessible. And even you have a lot of things that you can learn through online. There are a variety of medium platforms, right, which you can actually like Coursera or things like that, or even you can use Gemini or ChatGPT, right, agentic AI things and all that, right?
Yeah.
You can actually using the technology, it gives you freedom and independence to have access to many things. In fact, one of the things, one of the beautiful example I could give you is everybody, when you're actually presenting, you need to look at your slides and make sure that you are referring to the right slides that you are on, right?
Yeah.
So what if somebody who cannot see, right? They will have to refer using their laptop or mobile device. But today, with the kind of artificial intelligence which came into the wearable devices like the glasses that I'm wearing, the person can actually look at the screen and ask the artificial intelligence what is in front of them, and they can easily refer. So as if they are standing like any other speaker, but they are getting access to the content which is on the screen for them. Right? So technology is playing a key role to make people's life more independent, not just for people with disabilities, for anybody else as well. Like even for mainstream people, today if you're going to the unknown places, right? If you have to plan what are the things that you need to look around, either you need to ask somebody, but that which will be time consuming. But you just use your any of the AI apps and ask you to give you an itinerary. It will be there within seconds for you. So technology is playing a crucial role to make people's life more independent.
Yeah, so I think you have beautifully explained how, the role of accessibility and how AI is, being leveraged with such, solutions. Moving forward, this year's theme for UX India is Design the Way of Life and Entrepreneurship. So I would like to know that, how is accessibility and universal design aligning with entrepreneurship?
Absolutely. So accessibility, as I put it always, it is not specifically for any particular user.
Right.
So accessibility makes your user interfaces usable to everyone. But including people with disabilities.
Yeah.
Right? Even when you design things, you should design one product that could be usable by everyone, including those with and without disabilities, so that you don't have to bring out multiple solutions. Right? So, for example, in the shopping malls, right, you'll have elevators and escalators, and you'll also have the staircase.
Yeah. Right.
How many of you do use the staircase? Absolutely not much.
Yeah.
Right? Many of us prefer to use the escalator or elevator.
Yes.
Right? But what if somebody says that elevator is only for people who are on the wheelchair?
Yes.
This is not true, right? But today everybody uses it and it's most comfortable. Like people who are having their shopping bags, things like that, right?
Right.
So the solutions, in fact, all these terms, accessibility and universal design, the terms have come in today, but it is into existence for many, many years, right?
Right.
So if the reason why I'm saying it is existed for many, many years is, have you ever seen a traditional, very initial days of the telephone keypad?
Yeah, I've seen in some photos.
Did you notice there is a dot on the numeric number 5?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. Why is that? It is meant for ideally to make it accessible for people who cannot see.
Right.
But in general, everybody who actually feels the keyboard and when they touch the dot, they'll be able to easily dial the number.
Yeah.
And even the mainstream keyboard, the computer keyboard, you will have those dots on F and J, right? The two keys, right? So the universal design is a concept which will actually create flexibility of how people want to use things and error for tolerance and kind of things, right? And it also works on any device or any environment or for any user for that matter.
Right.
So in today's era of technology, the universal design is playing a crucial role. And one another reason is that people with disabilities does not mean only people who have got the functional disabilities. Today, unfortunately, you are having even children at the school age who are wearing glasses.
Yes.
Without glasses, they will not be able to see.
Right.
Right? So, all the readable fonts and the color contrast and everything is helping them as well.
Right.
And unfortunately, with the amount of phones and all the videos and gaming and everything that people are using on digital devices, it is also creating problem with their cognitive things. Right? So, yeah. So, if you are actually building any product that if you build using the accessibility and universal design standards, it works for more people. It is not just for a particular segment of people.
Yes, sir, right. Very well put. Moving forward, you have built a culture of, accessibility and inclusive design for, big organizations, mentioning Yahoo, PayPal, Informatica. So I would like to know that, what was the process that you followed to have, this sense of inclusivity in, the software development life cycle?
That's my favorite question.
Yeah.
See, one of the things I am a believer from very beginning is nobody will intentionally build any product that is inaccessible.
Right.
Okay? It is just due to lack of awareness. You will end up building products that are not accessible. Nobody will actually start thinking about, I have to make my product usable with a keyboard. Because they may have never seen any user who only uses the keyboard and who doesn't use mouse. Okay? That's a concept in their mind that, oh, everybody uses mouse, it's very easy to go and click, right?
Yes.
But when the culture of accessibility and inclusivity will come in, when you actually make them experience how the other segment of users actually use the product. And it will not even work even if you show them, if you take them to an NGO and show other people with disabilities, that will create them empathy or sympathy kind of things, but that they will not still realize why they should be doing it.
Yes.
Even if you give them a 2-hour lecture, they will clap for your lecture and go away. But you just spend time with them for 30 minutes, ask them to use their own product without touching the mouse, but with the keyboard alone. Right?
Yeah.
Within 15 minutes, you'll be able to change their mindset. So one of the things that I always do is, whichever organization I join in, my initial few weeks or months, and months I actually spend, if I'm actually working from in-person office, I have a habit of have a breakfast with the people, set of people like designers, developers, product managers. Okay.
Yeah.
And another thing is that today most of us work remotely as well, right?
Yes.
So one of the things I do is I make sure I get to know if any new joinee comes into the organization, I make sure I send them an email within 24 hours of their joining, if I get to know. Okay. And trust me, if I join any organization, I'm a person who is known for making noise, okay, in a positive way, by the way. Right? I actually write to everybody, whichever contacts I get in the organization, thanks to the directory. I write to everybody. I start with the leadership team, right from the CEOs. Right? I introduce myself and I tell them what I bring to the table, what is the passion I have, and I will ask them, can you please invite me to your staff meeting? Right? People cannot say no to me. Right? I'll put them in such a way that they will feel so good that they want to invite me. So I will use that opportunity to actually educate people about accessibility, why it is important. Right? So once you actually make them sensitize why it is important, why it adds value to the business, right? Because everything ties with the rupees and dollars, right? So if you actually give them a rationale why it does make a great business sense, then you'll get a good support, right? All that you need to do is that you should not only make the problem statements, right? Making problem statements doesn't help. You should actually show them rationale and how that can be sorted out. What are the best things without affecting your business, right? And you should also bring in a picture that accessibility is not a separate thing or not an additional feature kind of things. Right?
Yes.
You have to bring that mindset and you have to explain them why it is essential. And once you actually buy in from your leadership, but at the same time, you should not ignore the people who actually work. Right? You should actually make friends. I make friends with all of our engineers, designers, and product managers because they are the people who actually does the work. Right? So leaders can actually give them a direction. Yeah, it has to be done. It has to be done as per these standards and all that. Right? But if you don't create the sensitization among the people who actually work, it will not be of any use. So you have to make them feel that yes, it is an integral part of thing and it is an important thing for me to do. Right? You have to make friendship in such a way that they should not that you have to go and ask them each time, have you made your thing accessible? You should create such a culture. Each time they build something, they will reach out to you and say that, can you please check for me? Is it accessible? Right? So that is the kind of culture we need to build, and that happens only when you actually make them feel why it is important and make them aware why it is essential. You should also give them case studies, how it is helping millions of users who happen to have some disability or the other, or the situational or the temporary disabilities. You have to give them how it is actually helping their end users. Then initially it may be struggle, there will be reluctance and all of that. But once you actually show them the importance of it, your job will be very easy.
Great. I think that was an amazing insight, and all these small steps together culminate into a bigger impact.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So moving forward, I want to ask you that how do you see accessibility evolving from just being a compliance checkbox to becoming a core driver for innovation?
Absolutely. Yeah. If a few years ago, or actually 5 to 10 years ago, it used to be, like you said, it used to be a checkbox item. Like, is it section 508 compliant?
Yeah, right.
Kind of thing, right? But nowadays, you're actually seeing it more tangible and more business impacted thing, right? And because this is because the employment avenues are also increasing for people with disabilities, right? With the advancement in technology. And there are users who are actually reaching out to businesses, but this is a problem I have. Can you get your team address it? Right? You're also seeing the numbers, right? So it's actually becoming part of the software development life cycle, right? So we have at Freshworks now we are actually driving it towards putting it into as part of product concepts, the roadmap stage, and the design to the development to the release. Of course, in between the testing as well, testing to the release. So when you actually accessibility is not just one person's job. Right? It is a job of everybody in the organization through your product managers, designers, developers, testers, marketing, HR, okay, compliance, support teams, sales team, everybody, right?
Yeah.
Because everybody will have some role or the other to play in. Now will ask me, what is the role that salespeople will have in accessibility, right? So they are the people when you are actually selling your product. One of the differentiator is that my product is accessible, not just because of the compliance, but we deeply care about the users with diverse needs, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
so the salespeople have to have the knowledge about the accessibility features that you have in your product. So then they'll be able to beautifully articulate the differentiation with their competitors.
Right. It was really interesting to hear how accessibility is not just, helping design, but going beyond and, helping the other parts of the company as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So moving forward, I want to ask you the question that, as, future designers and being, early, starting early, I wanted to ask what advice would you give for people who are interested to, build a career in accessibility?
Okay. There are two parts into it.
Okay.
One is if you specifically want to build career into accessibility, you have to build the passion about accessibility, and then you have to learn the related things about the guidelines and techniques and all sorts of technical sort of things, or how you actually do the managing of accessibility and all of that.
Yeah.
And secondly, if you are into area initial stage of your careers, for no matter if you are an accessibility specialist or not, if you are making career in accessibility or not, even if you are a mainstream designer, okay, or a developer, whatever role you are actually starting with, you have to keep accessibility in mind from day zero.
Yes.
Okay, in whatever you do, whether somebody asks you to do or not, whatever designs you do, whatever wireframes you do, whatever interaction decisions that you do, or whatever code you write, right, or whatever even the prompt that you go to AI, right? If instead of asking about get me the code to generate a menu, you need to ask for get me a accessible code that is accessible and to generate a menu, right?
Yeah.
Or get me the code that generates a menu which is accessible and compliant with WCAG. So you have to keep that inclusion and accessibility in mind in whatever role that you take in your life, whether you are a beginner or you're an experienced person, whatever. So starting today, keep accessibility in mind in whatever you do, whether it is for work or passion or hobby, right? You can easily something like if you within your college or within your apartment complex, if something is not accessible, bring up to the concerned people and get that addressed, whether you have people with disabilities around or not. Not necessarily it only helps the people with disabilities, right? Accessibility improves the overall user experience.
Yes,
right?
true. Yeah. Yeah, I think that was great insight from you, and I think this advice is really helpful for all of us. Now, moving forward, we have the rapid fire round.
Sure.
And so, starting with, are you ready for it?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Let's
so,
go for it.
Describe yourself in one word.
Describe myself an enthusiast.
Oh, great. What's the best part of your day?
My best part of day is spending time with my family and doing the meditation.
That's really great. What do you love about UX India?
UX India, I know this conference for more than a decade, maybe 16, 17 years, for a very long time. It has evolved so much, and you can quote this for sure. I could say, if I'm not wrong, this is probably the only conference in the world where you have the presence of an IT minister and the deputy chief minister at this kind of design conference. I have not seen any design conference, at least I have not seen, where you have the state leadership came in and spoke at the event. So that which is not a small effort.
Yes.
Right? And Kaladar and the entire team of UX India is phenomenal and doing this with a lot of passion, right? And what I liked about UX India is that it is not only the focus on business houses who are actually done pretty well, and instead of that, you also have the focus on getting students into the picture, entrepreneurs, and creating a new dimension of things, right? And exploring every new thing every year, and trying to give back to the community, right? And not just only doing for the conference for the sake of marketing something.
Right. Thank you, sirs, for your kind words. And moving forward to the last question, if not design, what other field would you like to be in?
You mean if not accessibility, what I've been doing otherwise, right?
Yes, as a profession.
As a profession. Unfortunately, I have not thought about this yet. I did not get a chance to think about this in life. I would have been a motivational speaker.
Great.
I hope it gets me good money. Yeah, which is very much needed. But I would have been definitely been a speaker.
Great, great. So thank you so much, sir, for being here and sharing your thoughts and insights with all of us.